What?
How y'all doing? I'm Joshua Wiley. In this video, I just wanted to set something straight real quick. Doug Batchelor, who runs Amazing Facts, let's be real, he has hundreds, if not thousands of people who works for him with Amazing Facts. I met him several times, and even when I met him, he had a team of people around him. And Henry Wright, these two, I've uploaded things of both of them. Two of my my favorite teachers of the word, you know what I'm saying? And that's below the Holy Spirit and Jesus Christ. Those are my two favorite, you know what I'm saying? But, as far as human vessels go, Henry Wright and Doug Batchelor, I mean, we watch Doug Batchelor in our Bible study, the Little Amazing Facts, because he's so, and when we watch Henry also, but especially the Henry Wright Amazing Facts studies that he has, they're only like 30 minutes, and we definitely watch those because they're easy for my daughters and my children to understand. You know what I mean? And that's when, say we're on a subject, we're studying a subject in the Word, and we'll watch what, I love showing another man's point of view so they don't always just get Joshua. And I teach my children, you don't just drink whatever somebody give you. But anyway, I know some people thought, oh, he's crazy saying that Amazing Facts said something wrong and Henry Wright said something wrong. I was getting some little far-fetched comments where people have that, because I know how we can do, and I love how Brother Dwayne Lemon, he says there's a evil satanic Adventist circle where we even put our teachers on pedestals as celebrities. We do. A lot of people won't be honest and won't be honest with themselves, but they do, and they think these people are infallible. Now, and I brought up how many people works for Doug because I don't think he even was hands-on with the site to actually have this to the link. Oh yeah, the Lord didn't. He touched me later, said, Josh, you forgot to put the actual proof in the video. It's like you were so thinking about potluck, thinking about eating your mama's spaghetti after church, that you forgot to put the actual links and show them where they could go and see for themselves. The truth loves investigation. I live by that motto, no matter who it is. Paul commended the Bereans for being that way, but we as Adventists, sometimes we think somebody crazy when they question somebody. Oh, who are you questioning him? Enough of that right there. I don't want to get in that mode. But I just wanted y'all to know, these are two teachers I highly respect, and I'm gonna continue to listen to them because we're all fallible. Josh might say something on here that's not right also, and I know some of you concerning the music be like, yep, he sure will. But anyway, so none of us are infallible. None of us are beyond mistakes. But sometimes y'all can act like those people are, But anyway, like I was saying, especially concerning the church and what we learn. Are you really paying attention to the sermons you listen to? Are you really paying attention to the stuff you read on the websites? All right, let me give you the proof. On The Bride, the Beast, and the Babylon, on the documentary, if you go up to 26 minutes, the one scholar guy who is in the documentary talking about the church, he says, and I wanted to give you the direct time so you could go straight to it, but this is just one point. He says the church, God's church, went into a tunnel, but she came out looking totally different on the other end. I'm sorry, like I showed in the Word, Revelation 14, she's being nourished and taken care of right now. The devil didn't get his hands on her to taint her. And see, what they were talking about, I'm gonna break it down to you. What they were talking about was, and I understood what he was trying to say or what he attempted to say, but the way he looked at it and still having it as the same church is wrong and faulty. You know what I mean? Because God, what he's saying is, when you actually watch the documentary, they're talking about how the church went into Rome and was corrupted in Rome. But I'm sorry, that's not the church. The church went into Rome, true indeed, when the Christians were hiding out, but she escaped into the Alps. Those are the Waldenses, where she was kept pure, clean, unadulterated, was not touched. That's fact. Okay, I shouldn't say it like that. That's just what Josh believes. That she escaped into the Alps in the form, and God used the Waldenses to preserve her and keep her from being unadulterated or being profaned. But he just said, nope, she went into Rome and she came out the other side as the totally different church. That's not true. And like I said, when she went into Rome and she escaped into the Alps, the devil put his imposter there. So it is not the same church. It's an imposter. Babylon is the great whore is an imposter. The devil hired her to be the counterfeit of God's true church. She is not the church. The church did not come out the other side of the tunnel. But that's that one point. And now as far as in another point with amazing facts, I actually have this link on the other video, the first video I did yesterday. I put it in the comments, but I wanted to say it and then still put the link on there. There's a link to the amazing facts. Stop it, sweetie. You know, we just got through exercising. I was supposed to be standing up doing this, but I did a little too much now. So we winding down while after our little walk we just did, walk/run. But anyway, the link and the link is to the Amazing Facts website, and it's entitled The Scarlet Woman. Click on the two sides. They have a whole section on the Scarlet Woman. Click on the two sides. And matter of fact, I put it up on my phone, and I'm gonna read what they say concerning Babylon. I'm gonna read what they say. Bear with me 1 second. I was just on it. How did that get all the way right there? Let's see. All right, here it is. You're gonna scroll down, and right after you see it says James chapter 4.4, it says, although married to Christ, this church has been disobedient to his word. Let me start it again, because some of you are not catching it. They're talking about Babylon, as you'll see. Don't take it out of context. Don't just take what I tell you. Go look for yourself before you hit a dislike button. Yeah, but anyway, although married to Christ, this church has been disobedient to his word, taking the teachings of the world, his enemy, and therefore becoming a spiritual harlot. Some might say, well, they're not talking about Babylon. Hold on. The fornications in the cup would constitute false teachings and doctrines. Oh, so was God's church holding a cup with fornications or Babylon? And I just told you, they said, although married to Christ. Please tell me, anytime in the Bible's history, anytime in Revelation when Gabriel tells us the history and the mystery to Babylon, please tell me where it says Jesus married her. I'll wait. No matter of fact, I'll even wait, and I'll probably still be waiting when my little ones turn 18 for a reply. Because Jesus never married Babylon. She has always been an enemy. That's why Gabriel said in Revelation 17, this is the mother of harlots and abominations on the earth. And the word, and then their excuse, let me finish reading. I'm already ahead of myself. The fornications, let me look at my time. Y'all know how my time is, it's always. Anyway, the fornications in the cup will constitute false teachings and doctrines that will be contrary to Christ, the true husbandman. And then they go into why, like they said, she committed, they basically saying she was married to Jesus, but she started having affairs and became an adulterer, which is not true. The word harlot means a woman who, I want to say, I just looked at it, and I use Blue Letter Bible. I love Blue Letter Bible, and I can just type in the word, I can hit Strong's, and I can check the Greek and Hebrew in the true meaning of every word that I want in the Bible. And for the word harlot right there used in Revelation 17, it means a woman who sells herself for a gain. Let me say it again. A woman who sells herself for a gain. The reason why men started calling adulterous women harlots or adulterous men harlots and whores as an insult. It did not mean a harlot doesn't mean a married woman who has an affair. No, that's an adulterer. And as a further insult, that's like somebody getting mad at somebody and say, oh, you dog. They're just calling them a further insult. The insult, and so that's when people call an adulterous woman a harlot. But the true meaning of harlot means a woman who sells herself for a gain. So they tried to use the excuse of saying that Christ was married to her, and because the Bible calls her a whore, which is not true. And Christ was never married to Babylon. But read it for yourself. Say, so you can, before you say Josh, you're reaching, Josh, you're just trying to talk about something, Josh, you're depressed, sad, whatever. Read it for yourself, beloved. And that's the whole point. I even wrote it down because I said, hold on. I said, I don't want to forget, you know what I'm saying? But that's the whole point of reading for yourself. We men make mistakes, y'all. It's not like the whole world crashed because they made a mistake of talking about the great whore. And I'm not an evil man because I'm willing to share with you what I found. Trust me. And I realize you might hear a little hostility in my voice, and it's not. I've been tired, y'all. We walked a long ways, but it's just a little because in the past several days, even I just mentioned rap. You know, and now I'm getting on to another part. This is like the second part of it. I just mentioned rap, and I had somebody throw a list on me, which I already know, not to delve into that. And I realized I started to be doing the study on the famine when Jesus says there's gonna come a famine in the world, and I know why. And I tied that in with the 10 virgins because there's the wise who see themselves for they really are and know that time is short are gonna stop trying to teach and reach out to everybody, and they're going to make sure that their house is in order before Christ comes back. And I understand it fully because trust me, beloved, like I say, I'm really happy. I'm drug free, alcohol free, all my no longer do I put stuff off, procrastinate. God is doing wonderful works in my life, and I'm happy, and I can't help it. I'm confident. You know, a child who raised itself, some people said, you know, because I said nobody's opinion matter, that makes me arrogant. No, that doesn't make me arrogant. I'm just honest. I'm honest. My opinion shouldn't matter to you concerning your life and your well-being. How do I know you personally? Do you know me personally? Do you understand the counts? We have to stop putting people on a pedestal, and we have to stop thinking that our words should matter in somebody's lives who we've never touched before, who we've never dealt with before. That's why I said friendship is the forgotten tool of the Bible. Some people will get on, I call it keyboard courage, and they'll say things that they won't say to people in real life. You know, they'll say things on that keyboard that they won't say people in real life. And beloved, some of the comments I got from just saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna rap. Some of the comments I got, I couldn't imagine some of the people or the so-called sinners who you see in the street. I couldn't imagine what you think about them in your head. You know, if I said I'm just gonna rap and I got a whole list of this, and I said I don't care, your opinion doesn't mean nothing to me, especially concerning my life and my well-being. You know how many people, you know how many of my friends think I'm a fool for being vegan? I guess their opinion should matter too. You know, like I said, I don't pick and choose. That's why I love how God even whispered to me, said, that's why I chose you. But anyway, you know, because his is only that matter. You should seek to do the same. God will lead you to the wise counsel who you should listen to. You know, trust me, God will lead you to the wise counsel. I made a mistake when I married my wife. We've talked about this many times. Because I wasn't supposed to. She was a non-Adventist, and she ate meat. She's Hawaiian. Trust me, their eating is like a culture over there. Their eating is like a culture. I'm trying to look at the time. Excuse me. Okay, their eating is like a culture over there. She hated vegetables, hated things. She's a vegetarian now. She's not vegan, but she's a vegetarian now. But should her opinion it matter? That was my wife. But guess why we are where we are now with the Lord, where she's a vegetarian? Why? Because I told her her opinion didn't matter. I'm going to serve the Lord. As for me and my house, I'm going to do what I think with my relationship and my conversations with my best friend says. Okay? Now I'm going to have to move on because it showed me something, you know, and this is why people with that type of mentality who can't reach nobody. I had a personal friend of mine, you know, these people need prayer that I'm about to mention. You know, a friend of mine who her daughter got shot in the face in a drive-by the other night, and she called me up, and it broke my heart because the little girl had spent time over my house, our house, and her little sister is my daughter's friend. My daughter, come here, Isha. It was the light skinned one, the tall light skinned one. What was her name?
Micaiah.
Tell it to the camera. Not Micaiah, her sister, her older sister. Not the oldest, but the light skinned tall.
Amiri.
Amiri. Thank you, sweetie. got shot in the face, but she's still alive. Thank the Lord. Guess who they called for prayers? Because she knew, even though they doing what they doing in their house, I'm still not going to look at them bad. I ain't going to say, well, it was probably your fault and da-da-da-da-da, and you need to know. You know, do we get it? Do we get the gospel? Do you get the gospel? And then I had a friend of mine last night. He called me. If I was seeing his name in the paper, I would have broken the tears. And so I was glad he called me, because I said, man, it's a blessing I can still talk to you. He was in the car with his two daughters was in the back seat. I feel you back there, girlie. His two daughters, ooh, I heard you. His daughters was in the, come get her, East. She gonna have trouble getting back down. His two daughters was in the back seat, and some guys tried to rob him and shot him 6 times. It's all on one side of his body, because when they were shooting in the car, he laid to block his daughters. He took all the bullets for his daughters. His daughters didn't get hit not one time. He caught every bullet. He caught 6 bullets, 2 in his forearm. Here's a picture. I'm sure he sent me this last night. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Autumn.
It's so dark.
Your booty dad.
Let me hold the camera. With the sun. My phone is so dark. Let me see if I can make it a little bright. Super bright. Out here in the sun. I don't know if y'all can see it, but anyway, he got shot 6 times, and even in the pic he sent me, you could see all the shots in his. You could see all the shots in his side and in his arm, going up and down his whole body. But he called me. You know, I ain't gonna tell you what he doing in his life and the bad stuff he's doing. But he ain't a Christian. He's not out there doing God's work. But he called me because he knew I wouldn't judge him. And we was just talking about how great God is. I didn't say, well, brother, you need to stop selling that and you need to do that. No, this ain't the time yet. But I know some of you would have. And that's why they don't call you. They don't look to you for prayers. They don't look to you for love. Do you have love? And I'm going in the house because I really want to show you. The picture. And my daughter left the refrigerator door open. It was an extra blessing for me coming in here. So it was an extra blessing for me coming in here. And let me see. Are you serious? Now I can't find it. Oh, there it go. That's how the enemy works. But he's a good friend of mine. Man, I'm telling you. I told him, it almost broke me into tears, y'all. Because I was like, man, if I would have heard about it some other type of way. This is him. It's my boy. Just call him Cardeezy. You know what I'm saying? But that's who I'm reaching. That's why I said, Lord, I'd rather be wrong and die trying to do your service and your will than to not do nothing at all, than to just sit on all my knowledge, go to church, go to potluck, do my Sabbath school lesson, come home, get on YouTube, criticize. I'm never in the projects, never in the community, never in the slums, never talking to people, never building relationships, never building true friendships. See, you got to be a friend before you can start pointing a finger at people. That's a fact. Jesus was a friend first. Jesus healed and took care of people's needs, showed them that he was a friend before he ever... Here we go. We're going back outside, big guy. Look, my son followed me into the house. All right, big guy. We're going back out. He was like, hold on, I shouldn't have followed you out here. But y'all, the video is in it. But I'm going to put the links for Dub Batchelor and Henry Wright's sermon where he talks about the church and the great whore being the same one. It's called Christ's Bride, the Devil's Girlfriend. Christ's Bride, the Devil's Girlfriend. And beloved, I'm not saying this to pinpoint like, oh, no. This was a perfect example to you and me on why we need to study for ourselves. Because even the most learned men, the men that I look up to, can be sharing error sometimes. You know, does it mean that everything they teach is error? No, I'm gonna keep Henry Wright. I love Henry Wright, you know, and I love Doug Batchelor. But you have to study for yourself, beloved. The first thing when Christ said, when his disciples said, what's the mark of the last days? He said, deception. Be ye not deceived. You know, Babylon and the church is not the same. Right there, look, he done sat in my seat. Look at him. I don't even know if y'all can see him. Look at him. You know, got in my seat. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? But so I'll just go and finish standing up. He's saying, Pop, you need to get up anyway. But and so what I'm saying is, you know, huh?
I'm gonna go for a ride.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, you know, there's reasons why. What if somebody new go to Amazing Facts website, right? And they're reading. They say, man, I want to read about the great whore because I hear so much about her, da da da. And they read where it says she was married to Christ. Wow, really? Then the shepherd's rods will be able to say, I told you that Adventist church is in Babylon, like they teach. But that'll why? Because they actually said that she was married to Christ. Christ never married Babylon. Those are two different. He only married one. He's a faithful husbandman. He only has one bride. He doesn't have concubines. He doesn't have an ex. No. So I had to share it. Y'all have a good one. Y'all have a blessed one. I wanted to clarify because I didn't want people to think that I'm bashing Henry, bashing Doug. No, trust me. If you look through my upload videos, those are two of the only men that I do share. You know, I'm always sharing about the teachers who I respect and love on a high level, from Doug to Avamaj to Stephen Bohr. You know, there's Jay Gallimore. There's a handful. Randy Skeet. There's a Dwayne Lemon. There's a handful that I do respect and have high love for. But I'm not taking in what they say is, oh, that's fact, that's fact, that's fact. No, I'm studying what they say. I'm listening, paying attention. Uh-oh, did he say what they just said? Some of the teachers I just named, I don't agree with some of the stuff they teach. Some of them don't believe that there was a physical war in heaven. I do, and I got verses and the spirit of prophecy to prove it, but that's a whole nother study. It's a whole nother study. Just study for yourselves. I already had people hitting a dislike before they even checked up on me. How you gonna hit a dislike on a button if you haven't even went to see where? But that was my fault for not posting links. I'll put that as my fault because I didn't tell y'all where you could go find it, and I didn't tell y'all. Am I in the camera? I'm so dark that I can't even see myself sometimes. There we go. I like it though. Some say I like it. Sometimes I wish I could be darker, just, you know. But anyway, that's a whole other story. You know, I love how the Lord made me. You know what I'm saying? We all should. You know what I'm saying? And I can't help how I am. I'm confident in the Lord. He is the only one I answer to. Autumn? All right. Let me go get my little ones. Y'all have a blessed one. Okay, I thought I was done. Lord said, nah. You went on a rant. Uh-oh. Talk about holding it in your hand. I know that was the Lord said you went on a rant and you forgot to finish talking about the famine. Why I can easily see why there's gonna be a famine of bread. Like I say, the wise ones are gonna definitely make sure their houses are in order right before it's too late, you know, and then their light is going to shine bright naturally just from them making sure that their homes are in order and their souls are right with the Savior. But I tell you, some of you, I'd be afraid the response, and you know, people can hit like or dislike all they want, but the response, you know, that I was getting from even just mentioning rap, I'd be afraid to have one of y'all to fall around one of y'all, or one of you, you know, or come up short, or you know, to see a sin. I could imagine, you know, after what happened with me this past year, it has changed my ministry and my life to where I focus now on people in the neighborhood and the communities, about really changing lives, even though it was there already, but it's a little bit more now. Now I don't spend hours upon hours upon hours trying to teach you all who already are righteous saints. No, because when I fail short, and even when I started to do it as a test, which is wrong. The Lord said you shouldn't test your brethren. You know, I'm big enough to admit that, but my mind wasn't in a good space. But What is it, sweetie? You want some juice? Okay. But even though when I fell short this past year, y'all were the first ones to point your finger. And so even just hearing the word, oh, you're gonna rap, and I had somebody, you know, like I say, the whole list of sins. So imagine if I fall short around you. But it was the ones in the neighborhood, the slums, the people I went to prison with, who reached out in love privately. Oh yeah, I spoke out publicly and was a monster, but they reached out privately in love. And that's who I'm here to change and deal with on an everyday basis. Of course, when God tells me to share something, I'm gonna share it on here, but no longer will I spend hours upon hours upon hours. I even had one of the guys say, oh, you're doing vainglory. Please, do you know how long? I have over 500 videos. I don't get paid for not one, and I never did it, and I don't care to get paid. I'm just here to share what I believe God has shown me. You know what I'm saying? And so vainglory is making sure in this past year, I've only done not even 10 videos. Vainglory is making sure I got to do a video a day because I got to get paid, no matter what the subject is, you know, especially if my videos are monetized and all that good stuff. They told me why they didn't monetize my videos, and I could get them monetized, but I'm not doing all that. I'm not going through all that. It is what it is. Get down, little lady. Get down. I'm not going through all that. And so, beloved, I see why there's gonna be a famine of bread, you know. And I just had to throw that in there. It's like there has to come a point to where the teachers and the wise start making sure their homes are in order. But beloved, how do I want to end this? Don't forget about the true meaning of the gospel. Do you know the true meaning of the gospel? Yeah, you can know what the 3 angels message is. Yeah, you can know what the mark of the beast is. But are you a friend? Do you really love people? If you love people, do you know the conversation and the way you start off a conversation? It's like my mom always tell me. She stressed this to me, especially with my temperament. You know, she would say, Joshua, are you aiming to save that person even in your rebuke? Are you? Because then you don't even put the rebuke out there first. First you just, hey man, what's going on? Hey man, hit me up. Man, I love you, bro. Why? Because you're worried about that person's soul salvation. When you're not really worried about that person's soul salvation, you're like Elmer Fudd. You're the Elmer Fudd Christian with your guns up, with your shotgun up. Any little wrong you see, pow, 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 pow. And then it's, but I love you, brother. I'm trying to save your soul. Is that what you do? Beloved, learn the true meaning of, many of us don't know the true meaning of the gospel, because many of us really don't know what unconditional love really is and really means. And I'm blessed and I'm happy right now. I even told the Lord, I said, Lord, I don't know if I might have to take another four-month break from YouTube, because I don't want to get in a worse spirit than I was before I even started sharing just 2-3 days ago. Y'all can put us there. And you know what God told me? I love the Lord. He said, man up. I swear. Look. I said, Lord, I'm going to just take a hiatus, Lord. They're going to make me. He said, man up. And I said, oh, okay, he right. You know what I'm saying? I got to do what the Lord tell me to do. He said, man up. Josh was just wanting to be like, look, I'm going to take another 3-month break. I ain't dealing with the nonsense no more. Da-da-da. Lord said, man up. So, you know what I'm saying? Beloved, do you know what love really means? You know? Can somebody open up their faults around you and not feel like they're worse off after they've done it? You know? Are you a real friend? Friendship is the heartbeat of the gospel. Friendship, I can't, like I said, I have so many friends that the Holy Spirit has used me to bring to that water only because I was their friend first, like a true friend, not just no make-believe. I didn't care if they accepted what I was bringing to the table. They didn't have to become a Seventh-day Adventist for me to love them and be a true friend. And I let them know that. Are you doing the same? Y'all have a go.